Check 1 2, check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Hey folks, just trying a slightly different setup here. I'm actually using some processing for my bass, using some plugins in Logic Pro. So yeah, hello Cheese, Livestream, how you doing? How's the weather where you cats are? And I also wanted to try out a few of the, effects as well. So because I've kind of only just like figured out how to do this, which is, hey, better late than never, right? So hopefully without overloading things. I don't want to, nope, that's, I want to just clear. You can hear that I've opened up like a pedal board. That's not the sound I want to go for. That's just like through a guitar amp. So how do I delete all that? Remove. Okay. So I want to go for something that is a little more. How do I? Oh, that's for amps. I want to go for more of the kind of modulation effects, maybe some of the pitch kind of stuff. Let's have a look. So, let's see what kind of vibrato stuff. They got the univibrato. How does this work? Oh, that's kind of cool. Look at that. Got that Hendrix kind of. Speed it up. I know, kind of just having a go at this. Clay Doe, how you doing? As this, I think this is the first time seeing you here, but welcome. You love your new Ibanez MDM. Nice. That's so cool. Which one did you get? That's exciting. I'm glad. Yeah, no, I'm so stoked with it as well, right? Chicken dip. What's up? How you doing, man? Just fired up some coffee. Oh man, I would totally get some coffee right now. It's too late at night for me to do that. So can you cats hear the effects going through the bass? I've got this like vibrato thing going on. I just want to make sure that I've routed the audio properly. That's kind of cool. And it's windy in Minneapolis. Nice. That's cool. Livestream is bright and sunny. Nice. Okay, I bet it's beautiful over there. You're sad you have to leave for work. Yeah, no, hey, if you just have, if you're able to have it on, right? With your headphones on. Nice. So, so cats, this is the first time I'm kind of just I'm routing the sound through Logic, and I'm using some of the I'm just trying out some of the effects because I've figured out how to kind of do that. Um, Whereas I was always using stuff in post production, but since I have kind of just figured out how to do this kind of thing, I'm like, all right, well, it might be cool to kind of have some fun here. Um, and with so they have right now I'm kind of using and what I can do is I can put a few octaves in here. So what I'm going to do is, so I'm using this program. It's called TU Slate, and because I use Slate Audio plugins for Logic. They're really cool. I really enjoy them, and so I'm just trying out the octave pedals here. I'm going to give them a go. We don't need them all on at the moment, but they have two right here which look very similar to a Boss, the Boss octave pedals. So they got one here that is called a Legacy octave, and I'm going to assume that this is like the same as a Boss OC2. I don't know. Let's check it out. Let's see if that's what it is. So if I just turn it on, oh, okay, it's actually pretty good tracking. And I can change the tone of it. That's pretty cool. It actually sounds really good. Just, especially for like just a computer plug-in, it's tracking pretty nicely. That's pretty fun. And then it sounds like if I turn this tone knob all the way up, it just adds some more kind of grit, kind of like a synth. So then what if I add my envelope pedal, which is an outboard thing? Then and then it just kind of sounds like, but not bad. And then what's this knob do? It's like a dynamics knob. Let's see. What does that do? All right, so I'm going to turn off my. Oh, okay, so I turned it all the way to the left, and it kind of reduced the low end, but and it kind of almost like loosens up the signal, because I don't know if you're listening with some speakers or headphones. I'm not playing, but you can hear this like, But if I turn it to 12 o'clock, it's gone. Now, what if I turn it all the way right? Okay, nope. That's just. Okay, yep. So, sorry if I just like completely just destroyed your ears. Um, you know, hello, my friend. Do you sing the song too? I do not. I don't want to disappoint you. Trust me, you don't want me to sing. Leave that to the professionals. I only sing through my bass. So that would sounds like something that you'd have to just kind of leave. Well, at least for me, leave it in the middle, and then octave signal. Put that on. That's on full. That's a lot of low end. Wow. That's a lot of low end. Now, what if I want to take, but it doesn't have an option if I want to take out, it doesn't have an option if I want to take out the dry signal. Is that why it's called a legacy octave? Is that because it doesn't let you do that? Now, I can bring in an octave 2, octave below. That's wild. Like that. So I've got like 3 octaves going on. That's pretty cool. And then the regular octave, let's see. Okay, that's very interesting. Don't know if I like the sound of that, but turn the tone all the way down, yeah. Because when you turn the tone knob all the way up, it's got this real boxy kind of sound, which I'm not really a fan of. Ugh, nope. I definitely like more of the clean kind of sound. But this will definitely give you a, but it sounds like a more kind of like sub. Interesting. Yeah, that's weird. Not sure if I'm a fan of that octave pedal. Probably like the legacy one, but that's cool. Yeah, it does sound like underwater, right? Kai Kurosawa, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? Hope you're doing well, bro. It's nice to see your videos pop up on my IG, on my feed. If you guys don't know who Kai Kurosawa is, you got to check out his videos. Really incredible musician, plays. You know, it's pretty much an invention of his called the what's it called, the bear tracks, bear claw, or the kubo, right? Which is like an adaptation of like the Chapman stick, so touch style kind of instrument. But Kai has like taken it like many steps further in terms of incorporating like how the bass part is played, with his own kind of technique. It's really interesting, and he plays the heck out of it. So yeah, you cats gotta check it out. So this other pitch shifter that that is here is just like the way they've got it is like a rack mount kind of thing. Oh wow. So I turned it on and it literally pitch shifted, like detuned, you know, the whole bass. It detuned it down. What are we? it detuned it down a whole fifth. That's wild. So in terms of the so if I wanted to detune it down to get it down to like gospel tuning, you know, if I wanted to do like you know, like Andrew Goucher, so this is actually kind of cool. That, you know, might be kind of fun. But I would also like to try obviously octave, but I want to have put in some of the original signal. Use my reverb. But it might be weird because it's processing my outboard effects differently. Interesting. Okay, this is kind of cool. I've never done this before, you know. So yeah, what am I using this effect for? I don't know. I'm literally trying, other than my octave. Sorry, not my octave. My envelope pedal, which is an EBS. But this pitch shifter, I'm just kind of just trying it out. And these are plugins. I'm only just kind of trying them out, just seeing what they do. You know, it's kind of cool. Now, in terms of, what about something like a flanger, a analog flanger? It's kind of cool. Kind of gives that kind of jangly. That's kind of nice. That's a nice one. Um, so yeah, what practical sounds do I use? So in terms of like playing on a gig, my go-to sounds that I take with me, um, I generally an octave pedal, so an EBS octave pedal. I take an EBS bass envelope pedal as well. Um, those are my main go-tos, other than a tuner, obviously, um, which is super important. And I also take a TC Electronic Shaker vibrato pedal as well, especially for what I like to do. So that's the vibrato shaker pedal that I absolutely love. TC Electronic. Um, so those are like my main go-tos that I take with me. I also have been using a Aguilar TLC compressor pedal as well, just to kind of tame the peaks, to make sure things don't kind of clip, especially when you when I use the envelope pedal. That seems to like kind of push things over the edge a little, so it kind of just tames it a bit. Those are my go-tos, and then other ones I'll take my New Neighbor Immerse reverb pedal, as well as like a phaser, which is a EBS. So I have many things to choose from, which is really cool. Um, and it's really nice to just take whatever I need on any kinds of gigs, whenever I need it. In terms of chorus pedals, I don't have a chorus pedal, but let's check out the chorus effects that they have here on this. So this is just like I guess this is probably emulating a Boss chorus, which is a nice kind of that's kind of nice. Turn up the that might be kind of nice. And because I'm using Logic here, it means that I also have the ability to well, no, that's not the right one, to actually play along with some music or add some really cool drum loops. So well, let's see here. And folks, I appreciate you jumping on. I'm kind of just I'm just kind of trying a new little setup here, which I might do for the future, just because I've been able to figure it out. Because I've wanted to be able to, as much as I love using, my bass as organically as possible through this setup when I do the live streams. I've also wanted to explore the ability to be able to use plugins to get different effects, or to try different types of processing as well, because that's definitely something that I enjoy doing, and to be able to get my bass to sound differently and to do different things. That's a bit of a Alright, let's just do like a nice kind of easy beat. A nice easy beat like this. Let me just loop that. It'd be just nice to play along to something like this. You know? Take the click off. So what's going on here? I'm playing. That does it not let me play? That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun, you know? And yes, Kai, that would actually be nice to see the window, right, of what I'm doing. But, you know, I really don't know what I'm doing. I really have no idea when it comes to... And yes, I'm using OBS, and I'm just going to have to look at a bunch. It's a miracle that I've been able to even just get this going using OBS and to be able to do this. In a way, it's a miracle that I can do these live streams with, you know, I'm not saying that I am, you know, technologically inclined. I'm pretty decent with, you know, figuring out computers, but when it comes to the more intricate kind of techie side and routing things and that kind of stuff, like that gets a little difficult for me sometimes. So in terms of this actually happening, yeah, this is definitely this is definitely a miracle in itself that this even just, you know, works. But yeah, so that's a cool little chorus effect. I am interested to know, since I am a fan of let's see, what's the auto wah like? Is it good? Okay, not bad. That's kind of nice. You know, nice kind of tone. All right, let's have a go. Let's play along with some tracks here. A little bit of Stella by Starlight, Ottawa by Starlight, kind of thing. That's kind of fun. That's definitely something I can go down a whole rabbit hole of just trying. And what's cool is that obviously it allows you to create a whole like pedal chain, and with what is this? Oh, this has a looper on it. Oh, that's kind of wild. It has like a pedal chain, and it has all kinds of different cabinets, and where you can just really, you could just really just build like a giant rig, which is what I'm gonna do one day. Sit on this a digital rig, see what I can do. The only thing with these is that they don't have a lot of like bass options, or the bass options that they do have are not necessarily the kind of sounds that I would use, right? They're definitely a lot of like real kind of heavy, like gritty kind of sounds, and that's it's just not what I do. There is a preset here under the bass category called modulated chordal bass. So let's see what this is. Okay. No, I hate that. Nope. That sounds terrible. Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, see, because it like uses some sort of like guitar amp preset in there. Now, there is another kind of effect that I do want to try out that is different, and it's kind of where is it? It is, where is it? It's not that one. Oh yeah, it's called Murder Melodies, and it definitely gets some real interesting kind of weird, like lo-fi kind of stuff going on. So that one's called Dark and Low. This one is Deep Wave. Graham Bell. So that took out all the low end, just highs, which is literally just highs. Lo-fi echo. Which is okay, not bad. So this is some real cool, fun kind of stuff, I definitely like this one, Graham Bell. And you can adjust the spread. Anyway, that's another one I could just go down a whole rabbit hole of. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's kind of fun, just doing that. I also know how to just, I'm also at risk of just kind of getting myself lost and not knowing how to come back. Especially if I push a wrong button, be like, oh, what happened? How did that happen? So it's all good. But it's definitely, yeah, a lot of fun. Um, just going through this. The and then of course there's also the in Logic, they have their stock amp simulator, so the bass amp designer, as they call it, which is kind of cool. Which that's not really like a sound that I'm kind of into. But you change the mic position, and that sounds like it's kind of like emulating a Mesa boogie. And then this is an Ampeg SVT, which just sounds incredibly bright. That's just a little too yeah, it's all good. But yeah, just kind of roll off the highs a bit. But even then, just a touch. And we can, yeah, take the mic off center or off axis a bit, and even change the mic. Maybe we can put it as like an RE20. Kind of warm it up a bit. So that's a cool thing. Change the cabinet as well. So, you could put it as a, let's see, what if I would just put it as a flip top? That's definitely pretty. All right, so yeah, that's something that I'm gonna have to just kind of check out a lot more on my own. That's kind of cool though. And the processing in terms of like just the kind of, I might change this setting. So right now I'm using this thing called the virtual mix rack, but I might put on instead let's change it out to an SSL. That might be kind of nice. Just understand as well that I'm not a huge expert with this like kind of stuff. I just like to fiddle around with knobs and presets and all that, and just see what happens, see what sounds good. That's the extent of what I do. But it might be good to let's get a sound here. Let's see what they got. It's like a that's a little grit. So this is, I'm using the SSL. This is the 4KE, like channel strip. So it's kind of a nice kind of sound. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play along to a tune, and might be cool to just see how it works with this kind of bass tone, right? So since who's that? Music Mike is going funk groove. Yes, go hard. Let's do some of that, right? Let's do that. We'll do something that is definitely got that kind of vibe going. Let's see. Just choosing a song. And by the way, I appreciate you all just kind of just jumping in here with me. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel here. This is the Tuesday edition of my live stream, so it's kind of a little more low key in some sense. It's a little different than the one I do later in the week. I don't know, maybe it's the same. It just depends on what I'm talking about. Right now I'm kind of nerding out about this kind of new little setup that I'm doing and just trying out, and you get to witness me try to figure out all the tech side of things. Also, check out the links in the description box below to all my bass resources here at Bass with Benjamin. So my courses, if you want to take a lesson with me, and if you want to join my bass coaching and mentoring program, it's one-on-one and it's open to all levels. So make sure you check that out. Here, Music Mike here, 85. I think you will like this one. This one will be a good one to try this out. This is called The 80s Cop Show, and it'll be pretty obvious why it's cool. So let's see how this works. And also let me know if you can hear the track. So I'm going to start it shortly. The 80s cop show. Yo, what's up, Gil? How you doing? Nice to see you. Nick Granville. What's up, man? I'm trying something new. Now that was I'm using, so the way you're hearing my bass is through plugins right now. So I was trying out the SSL 4KE, but I think I want to go back to the Slate virtual mix rack, which was actually real nice. Go to one called Fat Bass. And I want to try that with this sound with let's see, where is it? Where's it at? I just had it. Oh man, where is it? See, now I lost my tune now. Where's it at? Oh, here it is. I just didn't scroll down far enough. Okay. Let's try this. Wrong note. My bad. isn't that such a great tune? That's D'Angelo's Another Life. And I really dug just that preset that I had, and the sound that I was using was from Slate. Was it Slate Digital? And on their virtual mix rack, I was using the Fat Bass preset. And they have one that's called Aggressive Fat Bass, so that might be something with a little more, little grit in there. Let's see. Yeah, definitely. Probably a little too much for me. And then they have one Warm Present Bass. So, in terms of using that kind of sound, what's going on here? In terms of using that sound, I would try using that with maybe this tune, which is always a good go-to for me because you can really, it lets you sit in the mix with it. Shalev, how you doing? Nice to see you. For someone with more experience, what do you think I should upgrade in the MDM 1605? Already wants to upgrade the 1605. The pickups or the preamp of Nordstrom pickups that fit laying around, and a 3 mid selector pre. The pre is from a Bartolini. Yeah, I mean, if you got Nordstrom pickups, that would actually be pretty nice in that bass. I think that would be nice. Just remember, and this goes for everyone, all right, including myself. I have to. I always sometimes have to remind myself of this as well. Just remember, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. I know there's always that thing of like, oh, we can always try to make something better or whatever. But, you know, this is the thing. If you keep going and going, you might get to a point where you're like, oh, hold on. And sometimes it might be hard to revert back. Or if you do revert back, it's not the same as like, oh, man. So that's just something that I always just like to remind people, and again, remind myself as a word of caution when doing any upgrades or modifications in your instruments. All right. And it's the question is, are you happy with how it sounds, how it feels right now? And if you are, then I'd say you might want to just leave it for now and revisit that somewhere later down the line, right? Especially when it comes to electronics and all that, like that kind of stuff, which for some can be a tedious job. You know, for me, with electronic, I know how to switch out pickups, but doing more kind of like electronic circuits and all that, you know, that is something where I'll let a professional do that, right? Because I am not qualified to do that. But look, if you have you're saying you have the stuff laying around, and you know, Nordstrand are really good. You know, they make really good stuff. I mean, this has a Nordstrand preamp in here. With you know, this is like a mishmash of different kind of things going on. Nordstrand preamp, Aguilar P pickup, and these Sonic Arch cap pickups. There's all kinds of things going on in here, and you know, I think everyone, you know, it goes for a different sound. So you know, if you feel that, you know, that you might make the sound better with adding these things in, then do what you got to do, you know? I always want to just preface it with like, also just be careful, because instruments and that quest for finding your tone and all that is a very personal thing. And you also want to be careful that you don't damage or do any irreversible and irreparable damage to your prized instruments as well. That's the thing you always want to be careful of. But I mean, yeah, Nordstrands, yeah, it's all good. Yeah. Let's say, so you were trying to make an MTD Kingston better because it was your main gigging bass for a while. That's why I got the Nordstrands. Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, just make sure that the dimensions work. If it's all good, then you should be all right. You know. And when you do it, let us know how it works out as well. I'm pretty happy with with just how the Ibanez MDM is on its own. I've played it on a bunch of gigs and all that, and it's cut through and just sat in the mix real nice. It's definitely been quite a joy to play. It really is. I played it when I used it on this gig I did where we played the music of Lauryn Hill, and I mean it was incredible. It just drove real nicely, nice low end, but also like it was just easy to play as well. So, and I'd be curious to see how people who have these basses, um, how they personalize it. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. And so you're saying you use these jazz basses for sludge metal, and you just need the cut because of what sludge guitar. Oh, okay, yeah. So that makes sense. So if there's a specific tone that you're going for, because yeah, if you're saying yeah, like the Damasio Model J, which is definitely gonna be a more edgier tone, just the way that it's wound exactly. So it's gonna give you that more kind of hot rodded kind of sound. So yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Again, be careful. I've had some close encounters with instruments where I've like almost just absolutely just botched the whole thing, because it was I was like, oh, I was just going too far with thinking, okay, yeah, maybe if I do this and then do like, so my groove line basses and this bass, I just leave them as is. Some of my older Ibanez basses, I'll do a few things in that, like my P bass and my PJ bass. I switched the pickups in those. I kind of swapped them. And that's actually a really good match. My jazz bass, my Ibanez jazz bass, I've done a few modifications with that over the years. But generally, I'm pretty happy with what I have. And if there's a certain, in the way that these basses are, it's to a point where, they I'm able to dial in many different tones with them. So that's the really cool thing about it. So yeah, the Ibanez was a bit more tame compared to the other jazz basses, which is weird considering I got a stock Fender Jazz that has more cut. Yeah, I think what it is. A jazz bass naturally has a very kind of, in your face kind of sound. Just of the way that it's built. The Ibanez basses, obviously, it's not a Fender. They're still going with their Ibanez, direction of having an instrument that is very well rounded, and where you can use the EQ section on the bass to sculpt your tone, but to be able to be flexible and moldable into whatever you're playing. That's definitely something. Whereas, obviously a Fender has its characteristics. That's the thing about it. So I could understand that you feel in that sense that the stock Fender would have some more cut. And just understand, just for anybody else who is like, listening and watching this and not necessarily understanding, just know that, something that cuts through doesn't always mean it's going to be better. It's something that, in a sense, when depending on the type of music that you're playing, the type of sound and tone that you're trying to go for, cutting through can mean different kinds of things. For me, cutting through is something where I want everything to be balanced nicely, but I don't want it to be over the top of everything. But that's the kind of music that I play. If you're playing something that's more aggressive, if you're playing something that has more edgy kind of music, like what Shalev is playing, then you definitely want to have an instrument in like those low mids, bit of the high mids, to kind of be able to cut through. Especially if you're playing in a band, there's a lot of texture and it's really loud volumes. You might have like a lot of like guitars. You're competing with drums. And so sometimes the low end side of things on a bass is not going to be the thing that is going to cut through. You need to have some really good, strong mids in order to do that. But that type of sound, if you're playing like some R&B or something where your bass needs to kind of just sit in the mix real nice, is not going to be the kind of tone that you go for. But in a sense, when you're playing, something that is more contemporary and where the bass really just kind of fits in like glue, blends in nicely, it can still have this nice cut through kind of thing, but in a different type of vibe, right? As opposed to like literally like cutting a line through the whole thing, and it's not a good or bad thing. It's just what serves the music. That's what it is. And how you can dial in your tone. So of course there's going to be preference over, what kind of instruments, what kind of amps, what kind of pickups, what kind of EQs, anything like that, pedals, is going to be preferred in whatever music that you're going to be playing. And that's the cool thing about it, and yeah, Bartolini, I've played some Bartolini stuff in the past. They're one of the pioneers, right, of like custom, more boutique pickups, especially for people like earlier on, people were modifying their basses, especially their jazz basses, like in the 70s and all that. They'd be switching out the pickups with, these kinds of pickups, right? But now, you have everything. You got stuff for everybody, which is always really good. So, yeah, so right now I've got like a nice kind of sub kind of tone that I'm going for in a different kind of cutting through kind of vibe. So what I recommend is, you listen to this tune with some good headphones or speakers to really kind of just feel this one, because there's some good low end content in here. Your phone speakers or computer speakers are not going to do this one justice. So
head back to the beginning of time. No, so am I. Stop, turn, look, and see. Pause, breathe, run, and dream. Stay strong, live, lead, move, love across
That's a fun tone. That's a fun tone for that one. So that one was just the preset called, what was it? It was just called Warm Present Bass. And that was very present indeed. Um, yeah, you know. And that's cool, Shalev. You got a Lakeland Darryl Jones bass used for jazz fusion. Those are really cool. I've actually played one of those before. They're really nice basses. And of course, Darryl is just one of the goats, right? Speaking of jazz fusion, let's play a jazz fusion tune. Why not? Why not? Let's play fusion. Let's play some fusion. All right, I'm gonna finish the night. Well, it's night for me. For some of you, it's the morning, right? I'm gonna finish a little bit of Alan Holdsworth because why not? We love Alan. Alan is one of the greatest. Cats, I appreciate you all for hanging out with me tonight. I was kind of just going down a bit of a nerdy rabbit hole of trying out some new plugins with this new kind of audio routing setup. Just because I could have had this the whole time, I guess, the whole time. But it's cool to just figure out and try some of the different plugins and effects and all that. So that's what I'm gonna do. From now on, I think I'm going to use more of this that way, because I really like the sound of it. And since I have it, it's like, why not? But obviously, I want to make sure I don't overdo it as well. So I'm definitely going to fine tune it, to really get the type of sound, because I've got some really great plugins and all that to use to process the thing, the sound. And, I definitely want to explore that side of things as well. But anyway, I'm gonna finish here. What's Shalev saying? Yeah, I kind of miss not having a preamp, but worst case, I could change it for a Lakeland with a preamp or a Sadowski or a Sandberg. Yeah, exactly. I love having a preamp on the bass, because I love changing. I love using the preamp on the bass for musical reasons. When I, depending on what tune I'm playing, I love being able to, if I need to open up the treble or the tone to, have a little more zing or to do some thumping, can do that. Or if I need to kind of just have a little more bite and growl, I can do that with the mids, or I can use the mids as a solo boost. You know, Oh, you're saying you miss having preamp? Yeah, I mean, I love preamps. Some people like the more simplistic approach. I love having the ability to control the sounds. I'd love to play uh, an alembic bass, because that has all kinds of fun like knobs and switches and all that. I'd love to do that just because it's got it, just and find out different kinds of sounds you can get with that. So yeah. Um, Only bass I don't really need a preamp with is if it has a P pickup and with another pickup. Yeah, so I will have to agree with you on that, Shalev. My Ibanez P bass, which is a 1974 Ibanez, it's just a Fender copy, flat wounds, and that doesn't have a preamp. That's just straight passive, and that's all it needs. Because I'm trying to. The purpose of that bass is to be that kind of vibe, right? And it's the same thing with my other Ibanez vintage basses as well. They don't have preamps in them other than just like just the passive kind of stuff, and it's because they serve that purpose of that kind of sound and that kind of vibe. But for the more modern instruments that I have, I love having the preamps to be able to sculpt, kind of, different stuff. Anyway, I'm going to play an Alan Holdsworth tune here. If you're an Alan Holdsworth fan, maybe you might know this tune. folks. Isn't Alan Holdsworth just like insane? Isn't Alan just insane? You know? You know? Like, what? Alright, one more fusion tune. Just because I can't help myself and I'm in it. And everyone here is really cool. Why not? This one's from Nick Granville because it has John Scofield in it. right, folks. I'm gonna have to call it a night there. But hey, Chuck Breezy, good to see you, bro. Chuck Beezy, I should say. Good to see you. Yeah, wasn't expecting Holdsworth. Oh man, we went from playing some D'Angelo to Robert Glasper. What else we played? To play Holdsworth to playing George Duke, Billy Carbon Band. You know, there's all kinds of stuff that I like to play. You know, definitely in that kind of vein of stuff, right? So I appreciate you all hanging out. And so yeah, so Music Mike, I'm in New Zealand. All right, that's where I'm at. So yeah, um, and again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Down below in the description box are the links to my Bass with Benjamin resources. So make sure you go and check them out. Check out my courses, or if you want to take a lesson with me, or join my one-on-one bass coaching and mentoring program. I have a few different program options there, so make sure you check out the options there, and also feel free to reach out to me through my website. Whatever I can do to help you on your bass journey, this is what I do here at Bass with Benjamin. And doing the live streams is always a really great way to connect with you all and to meet new people, and where we can really just nerd out about bass playing and music. So I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And yes, good to see regular folks on here and some new folks. So I appreciate you all. Thank you again. And nice Music Mike, you play bass, ukulele, and piano. Nice. Okay, got multi-instrumentalist there doing all kinds of stuff, you know. Chuck Beasy saying I've been down a steps ahead rabbit hole lately. We got to get you playing some that one time. Absolutely. Next time I'll play some steps ahead. How about that? I've played pools a bunch of times. Maybe I can play something else. Maybe something like sumo or something. You know, that might. You know. So anyway, folks, thank you again so much. You guys rock. And wherever you are in the world, take care. Be safe out there. And I'll see you again soon. All right? Folks, see you again next time. Take care.